What if I told you that the moment you stop explaining yourself is the moment you truly become free? Think about it. How much of your energy do you waste trying to justify your decisions to people who don't even matter? Here's the hard truth. The need to explain yourself is a prison. And today, you're breaking out. Let's be real for a second. You've been there. Someone questions your choice, your lifestyle, your goals, and suddenly you feel this urge. You need to defend yourself, to prove that what you're doing makes sense. You start talking, explaining, justifying. And the more you explain, the weaker you feel. Because deep down, you know something's off. You know you're seeking validation from people who will never truly understand you. And that's exhausting. But here's what most people don't realize. When you stop explaining yourself, everything shifts. Your confidence rises. Your energy comes back. People start respecting you more, not less. In your life, it finally becomes yours again. So let's talk about why this happens and how you can make this shift starting today. First, understand this. Explaining yourself is a sign you're seeking approval. Every time you justify your actions, you're basically saying, please validate me. Please tell me I'm doing the right thing. And look, I get it. We're social creatures. We want to be accepted. But here's the problem. The more you explain, the more power you give away. You're handing control of your life to someone else's opinion. Let me give you an example. Imagine you decide to quit your job and start business. Your family freaks out. They don't get it. So you sit them down and explain for an hour why this makes sense. You show them the plan, the research, the potential. And what happens? They still don't support you. Because they never will. Not because they're bad people, but because they're not living your life. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. So why are you wasting your breath? The moment you stop explaining and just start doing, you take your power back. You stop living for their approval and start living for your purpose. Second, people respect confidence, not explanations. Think about the most confident people you know, the ones who just own their decisions. Do they go around explaining themselves to everyone? No, they move in silence. They let their actions speak. And that silence? It's magnetic. It commands respect. Because when you don't explain, you send a message. I know what I'm doing, and I don't need your permission. Now contrast that with someone who constantly justifies themselves. What do you feel? Maybe pity, maybe annoyance. Definitely not respect. Because over-explaining makes you look weak. It makes you look unsure. And people can smell that uncertainty from a mile away. Here's a real scenario. You decide to cut off a toxic friend. They confront you. They ask why. And you have two choices. Option one, you explain. You list all the reasons, all the times they hurt you, all the ways they let you down. Now you're in a debate. They argue back. They guilt trip you. And suddenly you're doubting yourself. Option two, you simply say, this isn't working for me anymore. I wish you well. And you walk away. No explanación. No debate. Just a clean boundary. Which version of you feels stronger? Which version do they respect more, even if they hate the decision? Exactly. Third, your time and energy are too valuable. Every minute you spend explaining yourself is a minute stolen from your dreams. Think about how much mental energy you burn trying to make people understand you. Rehearsing conversations in your head. Crafting the perfect explanation. Worrying about what they think. That's energy you could be using to build something. To learn something. To become someone. The truth is, most people won't understand your vision until it's already successful. And even then, some still won't get it. That's just how life works. So stop trying to convince them now. Redirect that energy into your work, into your growth, into proving it to yourself, not to them. I'll give you another example. You start waking up at 5 in the morning to work on your side project. Your friends think you're crazy. They joke about it. They question it. And you feel the urge to explain why you're doing this, to defend your ambition. But what if you just smiled and kept going? What if you let your results do the talking 6 months from now? That's the power move. That's how you protect your energy and stay focused on what actually matters. Fourth, silence filters out the right people. Here's something beautiful that happens when you stop explaining yourself. The people who don't believe in you, they fade away. And the ones who do, they stick around without needing a single explanation. Because real supporters don't need convincing. They see your vision. They feel your energy. They trust your judgment. By refusing to explain, you're actually setting a filter. You're saying, if you can't support me without a thesis defense, you're not my people. And that's okay. That's healthy. You don't need a crowd. You need a tribe, a small group of people who get you, support you, and grow with you. Everyone else is just noise. And the less you engage with that noise, the clearer your path becomes. So here's what I want you to take away from this. When you stop explaining yourself, you reclaim your power. You build unshakable confidence. You protect your energy, and you attract the right people into your life. This isn't about being rude or closed off. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to dilute it for anyone. You don't owe anyone an explanation for living your life on your terms. Not your family, not your friends, not strangers on the internet. Your life is yours. Your choices are yours. And the moment you stop apologizing for that is the moment everything changes. Now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've been over-explaining in your life? Drop it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And if this video hit home for you, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe because we're just getting started. More life-changing content is coming your way. Now go out there and stop explaining. Start living.